Jake, you don't have autism. Yes, I do. Here's how I process everything that's ever fucking been presented to me. Doesn't matter what people say, humans are systems. Humans are field systems that operate off of field wave mechanics, interacting with other sets of field systems that also operate off of field wave mechanics. So, all that just to say that here, so if we're getting somatic data, it is going to be processed by the body first. Depending on what that somatic data feels like in the body, it will either be processed as body spirit or body logic. Body logic just means that it is a material sensation that can be defined to a material existence. Body spirit is it is a material sensation that cannot be attenuated to a physical material object being or otherwise thing. Then we have the little compression, the tensor spiral. The spiral tensor really just exists to take material concepts, feelings, somatic data, and keep it constantly flowing within a recursive state until it attaches to something within one of these grids. Then it's able to form an actual concept. So this also processes through the body. We take body data, it goes up into what you would call like the heart chakra. I call it is the compression vertex of the human field system. So the compression vertex takes all of the somatic data and just turns it into one somatic feeling and hides the rest of the attenuated nonsense from the body as just a body physical process. We can fucking think about that center that processes the data as like the basal ganglion, the sacral chakra, whatever the fuck you want to call it, but it's the same thing. Now, as we move further up the body, we have different areas where different like somatic information is processed. From the middle, whatever, you got your heart chakra, throat, anja, and then the crown chakra is not actually a crown chakra. The crown chakra is what I call the imaginative space or the conceptual field. The conceptual field is basically like a sky that has constellations of different concepts that are all held within tension with another. Now, they are held in tension because as the tension is held, a form of becoming comes out of it, and what it actually is becomes revealed to you. All of these constellation points, again, are formed by the full integrative process that your brain is unaware of all of this data here, and then putting it into your mind. Everybody thinks that we operate solely within the mind logic. 90% of what you do in your life is operated from this bottom part right here. Anyway, so I literally see ideas and concepts up in my visual field just above my head as little dots and constellations of things that I can manipulate and put together. My siblings do this. My brother actually will sit there and like move them around and can visualize them as real things. Whether it's actually something that's visible and we can see, or if it's just a fucking modality that helps autistic people move through the world, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to describe it to you. So yeah, that's how all of that shit works, okay? Now, look at this. I came up with this shit, all right? I had a very, very, very specific, important job with my life. I thought something was wrong with me. It's probably autism. I don't want to get an autistic diagnosis because of what the identity of autism does. I am unable to fully be able to actualize this system because how society treats people with autism. Even if I have capacity, I don't have the competency to do so because I have autism. So I must be a stupid permanent child, right? So I could never have figured this out if I was allowed to have the fucking accommodations that I needed, because like all this stuff is born out of contradiction, this theory, this thing I'm trying to understand will be born out of contradiction. I can't simply accept, oh yes, I have autism, that's it. I have to accept and I have autism and there's more. And anybody who just goes, you look fucking crazy, you're crazy. I understand the absolute limitations of what my speech does to people that don't have the fucking faculties to follow along. Just because you don't get it doesn't mean I'm crazy. You don't have the fucking facilities for this conversation.